Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to the Talos Principle Road to Gehenna DLC, and we are returning in this video with more post-commentary, where we talk about stars. So, the last time I had visited World 2, I managed to collect 1 out of 4 stars in total, and that's not a bad start. I mean, one of them was in a puzzle which was sort of challenging and required your ability to solve with connectors, and I had a pretty good time with that one. Now, the stars of this world! Oh, the first one, wasn't so bad. In fact, it pretty much goes off of one of my hunches which I previously had when it came to actually solving the puzzles originally when I first tackled this world blindly. Starting off with Static Vexor, there's a star hidden behind this gate alongside 2 bombs, and you basically just want to solve the puzzle as if you would be freeing the robot at first. And then you need to bring the connectors back out to the entrance of the puzzle and have it connected in such a way so that way the laser will be inevitably aligned with the outside of the door. Originally, I tried to go to the puzzle which was straight to the right, called Haircut, I believe, which has that whole raised platform gimmick on it. But here, it really is just a simple cross-puzzle solution, and thanks to my training from the Talos Principle main campaign, I'm glad that I managed to recognize this one as I did and actually collect the star fairly simply. It took a little bit of time, obviously, because I had not returned to World 2 up until now to actually collect the stars. And it requires really strict positioning to actually get this one. The laser just has to be aligned in such a specific way so that way you can actually, you'll lead it right through and open up the door, so that way then you can jam the bombs which are pretty much guarding the star. That's the best way I can put it. It's a little bit spooky. You don't want to run right next to the bombs, because right next to bombs would mean you'd have to reset absolutely everything. And resetting the puzzle, Static Vexor is, well, I didn't really particularly enjoy it that much. I think I did it about 2 or 3 times before I actually managed to complete it. But that was not in the process of having gotten exploded, thankfully. I like to take things a little bit slow and steady and carefully under these circumstances. Lord knows I do not want to shatter into 1,000,000 bits. And that was star number 1. Now, star that's number 2 and 3. Oh man, these are great. They're in the puzzle called Crater, which already had me stumped enough as is at the very beginning. Part of the reason as to why I had so much difficulty with these stars, it's not just due to the fact that my mind is really not configured for puzzles in the Talos Principle sometimes. Like, I do not have a very advanced mindset when it comes to puzzle games. I barely have any experience with them in the first place. As it turns out, I just really love playing the Talos Principle. And Road to Gehenna, I am still enjoying. It's just the difficulty spike here is fairly evident, and getting this star, oh my god. Getting both of these stars would have just been a nightmare had I not been following a guide. And I confess right here, these 2 stars have been guide assisted. So the star number 1 was assisted by a walkthrough by No Mercy Rider, who definitely knows his way around the quirks and ends of the Talos Principle, and I managed to read that one up for a while, and committed most of it to memory. I believe it's actually been a fair amount of days since I last recorded this, because I've been pretty busy for the past couple of days, and that would probably explain why I haven't managed to actually record much in the way of the Talos Principle lately, or just about any game. In theory, I could have just started recording more of me just kind of running around, maybe in World 3 to collect the stars in that area, but, well, I just didn't get around to it now. I was worried about wasting all my hard drive space before I'd actually finished this video, and I finally managed to get off my lazy butt to actually accomplish that, so hey, there you go. But No Mercy Rider, he's a pretty cool guy. He wrote a walkthrough about this entire game. And my second walkthrough source would be for the next star, but we'll get to that when we do. But this puzzle, this particular star basically revolves around you bringing connectors from one side over to the other and connecting the lasers, so that way they're aligned side by side. You want to make sure you keep the doors open where you can, and then once you just take this jammer and run to the other side, then boom, you can collect the star. And you can only collect the final star by having collected this star, because you need the fan piece first of all, and this fan piece goes around this fan right here. At the very beginning of the puzzle, which is known as Crater, you do not have any fans to work with. You have to collect them on your own. And a bit of a brain dead moment right here. I never really realized until I watched the second walkthrough part that you could actually run the fan from this side of the puzzle, and well, I'm just dumb as it turns out. So my second walkthrough source was a guy called Tengu Drop, who owns a YouTube channel, and he basically has an entire guide to the Talos Principle and Road to Gehenna, so go check them out if you're stuck. Right here, I'm just really showing that I actually managed to do it, and I tried to splice it up as best as I can. I didn't want to keep this video too long, as you can no doubt tell, but it requires a whole bunch of steps. But the solution for this puzzle is to have both fans running, and to do this, you kinda have to let the lasers sort of intersect. Sort of, the key word being right here. Part of the problem with this puzzle is that I never really realized that there are certain areas where the fences are actually short enough to jump over if you have the assistance of a box. And that's where this comes into play, is just having this box is basically your champion and your savior. You need this box in order to complete this puzzle, because you need to actually bring two connectors outside of the puzzle in the first place. That's, it's difficult, actually. I can't believe I didn't figure this out. I'm just really stupid, just as my name might potentially imply. So the solution here is that you have to first unjam this door, along with a couple of connectors which you have collected previously by bringing them back to the first area of the puzzle. Just take the box and place it right next to the short fence, and then bring two connectors out. That's basically all you need to do, and then it's just more laser connecting from there, so that way you can power both fans. And then the part right there just kind of boils down to chance, if I understand correctly. Thankfully, I managed to complete this on my first try after watching the guide, but I'm kind of worried, a little bit concerned that in the event where I do a second playthrough, this might mess up and I would have to, you know, redo all of the steps just to get one bloody star. And, yeah, it's just basically, you have to let the box bounce around between the fans, because you cannot ride the box. Like, initially, that's what I thought you had to do. I thought you had to jump on top of one of the boxes by just powering one fan, and then, oh hey, you could just jump off at the very end, like at the very center of the peak, basically. So that way you can just drop down and collect the star, which is on that structure in the center of the pond. But no, that's not how it's done. You have to have the box running so that way it can bounce back and forth, and then once you and the box reach the peak approaching from opposite sides, you have to bump into the box, and then it will push you downwards, and then you could collect the star. That's evil. That's evil, and, well, whoever designed this star, you, sir, are an evil person, or lady, I don't know. It could be anyone who designed the star. It could be Dr. Weird, for all I know. And all I know is that this star was not fun. I was so mad at the end of this. But hey, you know what? A star is a star, and as long as it's done, you know, at this point I really don't have any complaints. I'm just kind of hoping that when I inevitably tackle World 3, I'll be able to locate all of those stars on my lonesome without the guide assistance. I'm really hoping at this point. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this really short video. So thank you very much for watching, have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.